My name is Joanne Bourgeois, and I have Lily LeJeune Browning with me to interview her about her memories of Brusly for the History Committee of the Town of Brusly Centennial. Miss Lily, tell us your full name.
Lily Mae LeJeune Browning.
Okay, when were you born?
When?
When were you born?
I was born March 21st, 1917.
And were you born here in Brusly?
Yes, at the house.
At the house. Where was the house at the time you were born?
Well, I think I was born in that little house where Ethel Mook lived.
Okay, I want to hear that story. Just a second. Tell me the name of your parents.
My daddy was Odile and Joseph LeJeune.
Okay.
And Mama's name was Catherine Thelma Landry LeJeune.
And for the records, would you spell your daddy's first name, please?
O-D-I-L-L-O-N.
Okay, and people affectionately called him Mr. Dillon.
That's right, Dillon. Like today, a lot of kids call him Dillon.
Dillon, yeah. And at the time you were born, they were living in Front Brusly, near the river.
Yeah, that's where I was born.
And do you know how long after, till you were what age they lived here?
No, I don't remember now.
Okay. Now tell me about Dillon's family. Do you remember his parents? Were they still living?
I didn't have it. He was an orphan at 8.
Uh-huh.
And Mama was an orphan. I guess her daddy was living, but he remarried.
Okay.
Her grandmother raised her.
Okay. And
Papa was an orphan. He was pillar to post.
His what was his daddy's name? Do you remember? Achille. And that was Tofield's brother? You remember? If you don't remember that part.
No, I've got all that written down at the house. I wish you had known your name. I brought it with me.
Okay, but to be related to Bertha, Grandma Bertha, and Aunt Leah, and Aunt Viola.
We all kin.
That's right,
because Uncle Dan is that brother, and they were first cousins.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who were your daddy's sisters and brothers that you remember? Your daddy's sisters and brothers.
Well, he had a sister named Ada, and a brother, John, Debbie's dad, and the chief of police in Baton Rouge, Arnold, and he had a little brother that got killed. A horse, something kicked him in the head and killed him.
Do you remember his name?
I forgot what they said his name was. I don't. It's something that started with an E. It might have been Achille like his daddy. Yeah. I don't know. It was. And then he had another sister. Let's see what her name was now. I can't think of her name. But she was the redhead. Red hair. Well, I can't think of her name right.
Did she live to be an adult? She lived.
Yeah. Oh, she married a 2-year and had a whole half of a kid.
Well, that might come to you. When it comes to you, just tell me.
Okay.
And so Achille lived as an orphan, so he lived with different relatives growing up. I mean, Dillon.
Oh, yeah.
Dillon.
He was so bad that nobody would keep him.
I never heard that before.
They said he was something else.
I had never heard that.
He told us about living with some family. They were kind of
related.
They had some money or something, and they had a big ham in the icebox. And anyway, he said he took that ham and ate all he could of it. And then, when they come back, he took the ham and drug it all the way to the shed and put it under the shed, and they thought the dog did it. And he had done it.
When he was a little boy.
Yeah. You know, that was terrible.
Well, tell me about your brothers and sisters. You want to start with the oldest and tell us their names?
Clyde.
Okay.
Clyde LeJeune, that's my oldest brother, and Rainer, and then Gabe, Parker, Wilson, who drowned it, and Carl, he's still living, Evelyn, and me.
And how did you get that name, Lily? What's the story behind that?
Well, Mama used to hear the Miss Heck over there hollering at that girl. She has a daughter named Lily Mae. I guess that's why she named me like that. I don't know.
Oh, you're the baby?
Yeah.
You're the baby, okay. And how many of your brothers and sisters are still living?
Just 3 of us, the 3 younger ones. The old died.
Okay. So you were born when they were living up here. Do you remember being a little girl in Back Brusly? Do you remember being a little girl here?
I remember being a little girl in Back Brusly, going to that little school.
So at some point before you started school, they moved to Back Brusly.
Yeah.
Did your daddy live in their own house then, or did he built a house?
No, it must have been the old home place, I imagine.
It was just a LeJeune family.
Yeah, it must have been his daddy or somebody that owned it, you know. I remember I almost cried when they took that little schoolhouse away from that thing.
I've heard people say that. That was on J.D.'s property?
Yeah, no, right next door to J.D.'s property.
Do you know what they did with that little building?
Yeah, they brought it all the way to Choctaw, and Miss, what's that lady's name now? Anyway, she lived in it. She made a house with it. Miss Edvar married her later.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of that lady's name now. I forget names.
Okay, and then that was below
That
school?
was there.
Well, is it still there? It's still standing?
It's probably still there unless they did something with it. I don't know.
Well, tell me what you remember about back Brusly as a little girl before you started school. What do you remember doing back then?
Well, I don't remember too much about it. All I know, we lived on a farm, and we had
to work?
Plant potatoes and dig potatoes and pick pecans. We had about 30 or 40 pecan trees, and we had to pick those pecans. Papa would tell us, don't be late from school today, because we're going to have pecans on the ground. You can make on for dam, get up there and thrash them all down. You couldn't see the ground with the pecans.
Uncle Dan lived back there at the time?
He lived back way in the back there, down the lane there.
Behind where Ruby Curry's house is?
That's where he lived.
I think that was probably in his father's family.
Most probably.
Do you remember Aunt Leah? Was Mr. Johnny Collins still living? What do you remember about him?
Oh, I used to pass that after I got married. You know, the Browning lived right next door. And Mr. Johnny, I'd always holler at him when I passed. What you say, Mr. Johnny? He'd be sitting on the porch. And we'd have quilting bees at Mr. Collins or somewhere, you know, and we'd all get over there and quilt.
You learned how to sew that way?
Oh, yeah. I used to go over there and make her buttonholes for her. She sewed for people.
Aunt Leah?
Yeah. And I'd go help her make the buttonholes. She said, you make nice buttonholes. They didn't have the stuff to do them like they do now, you know. You had to do them by hand.
Well, what do you remember about starting school back there?
Oh, it was something else. Mama said at dinner time, we'd go home for dinner. And she said, I'd be running down there. Sometimes we were living at the back house back there. We had two houses, one in the front and one in the back. And she said, I'll start hollering as soon as I get about halfway down that yard hollering, give me my dinner. Didn't even wait till I got to the house. I'd hurry up and eat dinner and go right back to school.
And it wasn't that far.
No.
Did everybody leave? Miss Lil left at dinner time too?
So, yeah, everybody went and eat.
When you were in first grade, Miss Lil was the only teacher, right?
That's right. Until I was we went to first, second, and third in there just with her.
One room.
One room. And I'd watch what the higher grades was doing, and I was a whiz with that math and all that.
So you learned fast from the older kids.
Yeah.
Well, who were some of the people you remember being in that little school with you?
I had all those little names. I got that little paper with all their names. Well, there was Owen and my cousin Owen was young, and Ada and Lucille, his sisters, and God only knows who were the Thibodeaux, Curtis Thibodeaux and Nelia Thibodeaux, and all those kids like that.
Was Miss Lil's family still living? They were still living back there at the time she had her school, or her parents were dead?
No, just her and Miss Lewis, they called her. Her sister lived there. But she was a good teacher. And Miss Ben LeBlanc, her brother's wife, she made us, they sent Carol Loop and I to the valley that year, one year when I was about the third, I believe. And she really knew how to make yourself one. He taught us how to say those poems, and I come first, and he made second. And we go on the gold cup of it.
That's right. You still have that, don't you? You have the little thing? You have your little award? Or you have a certificate? What do you have? I thought you had something.
I just have that little thing that she gave us at the end of the school, all the names of the little kids that were
in that
school.
Was it cold in there in winter time? Do you remember?
No, we had a big old pup. There was stove right there, big around right in the middle. It was nice and warm in there.
And that was just a little neighborhood school.
Oh, yeah.
Who are the families you remember besides the Thibodeaux and the LeBlancs, well, the LeJeunes back there? Who else did?
Oh, well, they had Ethelene, and that's my brother's wife. And
what was her family name?
Hebert.
Where were they living?
They were living next to the big house in the back.
On the property, yeah. Where Ruby Curry's house is right now. Was that house, that same house was there when you were living?
Oh, no. We had a big old house further to the road. And they had these big old posts, thick mud walls in it. Talk about something else. That was something, those walls were there.
And that was probably a LeJeune house that was in the family. How is Ruby Curry? Is she in the family? Is she tied into the LeJeunes?
Well, I think her mother was kin to Papa some way, but I don't know how.
That's
to tell you the truth, I sat on the swing with Mama one day, and we started at one end of Back Brusly and went all the way down, and we were kin to everybody in Back Brusly, even the Saturday. Somewhere way back we kin to them too.
And she remembered all that?
Yeah, she knew who, well, so-and-so, that's sister to this one and that one and the other. I didn't know who they were, you know.
I know the other family. Some Dupuis lived back there. Uncle Henry Dupuis.
Oh, yeah. Kenneth and that?
Yeah, who married Aunt Edith, you see. And Aunt Edith was a LeJeune.
Yeah. Well, Kenneth graduated with me.
Kenneth that comes to church now on Saturday evenings? Kenneth Dupuis?
Yeah, Kenneth Dupuis.
He sits back there in the back on Saturday evenings. Yeah, that's your cousin.
I talked to him when I went to the church thing. Kenneth. He's hard of hearing or something.
He's very hard of hearing.
Yeah.
But that was Aunt Edith and Uncle Dan were brother and sister.
Yeah.
That was that connection. Who are some of the oldest people that you remember from when you were a little girl?
I only remember seeing my granddad, and that's Mama's dad, one time. And he was in the bed, and they had cut his leg with the diabetes, I guess. And all he was saying, I still remember this, and I was just a little bitty kid. Pulled down, he was saying. Pulled down, talking about the skin on his leg or something. Must have been hurting or something. Pulled down. I'll never forget that.
He was real old.
Yeah, that's the only time I remember ever seeing him. I never had a grandmother.
And he was a Landry? Yes, that was true. Now, was he the father of Miss Coulthard, too?
Yeah. He was married 3 times, and Aunt Mabel. Mabel Gowan.
That's right.
That's a half-sister, too. And Aunt Wilma had a brother, a daughter. So they were all his children. And then Mama had a sister and a brother, Susie and Walter.
And where did they live around here? Or they?
Oh, no, Walter died when Marley was in bloom back there. And then Susie died with the big flu epidemic.
1919 or whenever.
She died then.
Do you remember going back toward Marley, or you never went that far?
Oh, God.
Went there?
Do I remember going to Marley?
Well, tell me about that.
They had everything back there. They had a church, they had a theater, they had a bank, they had everything back there.
Did they have a school?
They had a school, and we used to go back there every Sunday. The Thibodeaux sometimes, Mr. Raymond Thibodeaux and his family came with us sometimes. But we went back there to visit the Winsteads. They had a boarding house there, big boarding house. And we used to have a ball every Sunday.
Y'all had a car?
Yeah, but then we had to get out the car and go over a big old long trestle. I don't know, it must have been from here to the house out there. And I was scared to death to fall through those holes.
Because it was high up, huh?
Yeah, the wire was under there. And Papa used to have to carry me across that. I was scared. I tell him, I'm not walking on that thing. And I tell him, what if a train comes while we're walking this? What we're going to do? That scared me to death every time we got to that trestle.
Well, I'm going to tell you, some people that have talked about your dad have said that he really liked to play tricks on people. And he was a big joker, but he must have had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he was a mean old. That is something else.
Well, he was full of mischief even when he was old. How old was he when he died?
He was 75. But he had diabetes. It had affected his heart. Oh, this so bad that it wasn't even funny. At that time, if they would have been doing open heart surgery, I'm sure they would have done it to him because he used to suffer torture with his chest hurting, you know.
Okay, so you went to Miss Lil's school, grades 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Did you remember anything special she did for y'all for Christmas? Did she do special things for y'all?
Well, yeah, she'd have a Christmas tree or something in her house. Try to get everybody a little present or something. But we had a good time at that school. I hate to see them try to take it away from me.
Did y'all have to walk to church from back Brusly? Your dad had a car by then, you walked?
No, we walked.
When you were very little?
Sometimes it would be raining. They had a depot over there. Over there in Brusly.
Where the highway is now.
We used to have to run in there and get in that depot sometimes because it started raining. Or we'd have to maybe get on a colored people's porch or something to get out of the rain. It was a pain. That's a long ways to walk.
Was that for Mass or for catechism too?
Saturday and Sunday.
And it never entered your head to not go. You had to go.
Yeah, we had to go.
So that was how you
go. And Serena and them had to walk to school. And that they had a mud road out there, not no gravel, no nothing. She said they had to walk along the fence and hold on the fence, not to get mud all over them before they got to school.
Now, how much older than you was Rena?
14 years.
Oh, okay. So she walked until she graduated from high school?
No, she never graduated.
Or until she was all through high school, as long as she went, she had to walk.
I don't know. She didn't say. But I don't remember whether they had buses or there or not. Mr. Clay, they used to run the bus.
Okay. When you came to Brusly School in 4th grade, was there a bus then?
Yeah.
The bus was running then. So that was probably around 1927. You were born in 1917, or maybe 1925, maybe. And that was Mr. Clay's bus?
Mr. Clay ran the bus, and Mr. Wesley
Thibodeau.
Yeah, Wesley Thibodeau ran the bus. I don't remember who I started with, but I know he used to run.
And y'all would have to walk to the oak tree?
Yeah, we all had to walk to the corner. They wouldn't pass the house. We had to all walk down there.
And what was it like to come up here to school?
Come up there, it was nice. I liked it.
Tell me about the teachers that you remember. The teachers up here.
Evelyn was telling me yesterday, Miss Moore,
yes, she died.
She was a sweet teacher.
I've heard people say that about her. Very sweet person.
Miss Lola Thibodeau, Miss Margaret Aback used to point out them pencils in there.
Do you remember what grade Miss Merrill taught you? Was it 6th grade, or do you remember?
Oh, she taught me all through she taught the geography, I think it was, through the 4th, 5th,
different grade levels.
Yes.
And who else?
Miss Sagan. In the 7th grade, I remember Miss Sagan. And that's about all the teachers that I remember there.
Was that Verena teacher when you went to school?
Oh, yeah, Miss Verena. I forgot about her, yes. Miss Verena.
Did she teach you anything, or she taught one of the lower grades when you were?
I think she taught me too. Yeah, I forgot about Miss Verena.
Because I know she taught some of the other people.
Yeah.
So what do you remember about school up here? What are some things that stick in your mind other than learning your decimal points?
I don't know. It was just nice to go to school and everything.
Y'all had shoes to wear?
Oh, yeah.
You had shoes. I bet when Rena and those came, there were children that didn't have shoes to wear.
Well, I wouldn't down there a bit.
What about the lunch? You had to bring your lunch?
Yeah, we had to bring a lunch. Because they didn't have no soup kitchen, nothing like that. You had to fix sandwiches.
And carry your little bag.
A little bag, yeah.
And that was the old wooden building, the only building that was there?
Two-story building.
Two-story building. And on the side of the school, you remember who was still living there then when you went? Who was living on those houses between school and Sinclair? Do you remember?
Lil Mae and them's house was there. And the Blanchetts. And my aunt, Uncle Arnold's wife, lived in the front house over there, the first house. She used to live there for a while.
What was her name?
Leah. Leah LeJeune. Because Edgar is her son.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay. And they lived there in that
Yeah,
house?
they lived there. Edgar was in school with me all the time. He was something else.
You're the first one who's told us that they lived there.
Yeah.
That's the house that Miriam and George A. They eventually lived in, or on that property there where Stanley Alexander built later on?
I guess. I don't know. I know they had a house, the first house there. They lived there.
Oh, it's closer to the levee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing there. It's an empty lot now.
Yeah. Well, they had a house there, and they lived there.
Well, what do you remember about the high water of 27? You remember anything about the flood?
Well, I remember we were going to walk back there with Mom and them, and the water was way up almost to the houses back there in that all over there.
In Back Brusly.
Yeah.
It was worse than Back Brusly.
That's true.
And some people back in Choctaw had to come up here.
Well, they had an old couple from Choctaw. I can't think of their name now. But they had to come stay at our house and sleep upstairs. Because that house was all flooded out there where they were. That thing Choctaw.
That wasn't Lee?
Lee's, no.
Sam's mama? Sam's mama?
That wasn't her. It was that old lady, she lived a long time back there. By herself. I can't think of the name.
But people took them in. People took other people in.
They used to sleep upstairs in that house because they couldn't stay back there.
Well, do you remember in Brusly where some of the stores were?
Yes.
Tell me what you remember about where
They buried Mook. I'll never forget that.
Going to the store.
And then we go to the post office. The post office was in the Kenny Mook store, really.
That was
a long time.
That was near where Mr. Sam Cusho lived, in that little area?
Yeah, right.
You remember Mr. Sam?
Oh, yeah, I remember Mr. Sam.
And go on, tell me about him.
They moved the levee, you see. But I think the drugstore and all that they moved used to pay it this way because they had something like that anyway.
Because the way that it curved.
Yeah.
And
then they moved it. My husband's daddy is the one built that levee over there.
Somebody told me that that's when the Brownings and the Elwoods came around here when the levee was being constructed. That they came from another part of the country.
Yeah. They were from Missouri.
To work on the levee.
That's right.
And that's how they landed.
He bought a place out there.
Well, what do you remember about other stores? Do you remember Miss Dion's little sweet shop behind the levee?
Miss Dion.
Blanchard.
Well, I remember after she got the store up in the front, because she had a store up there somewhere, and I remember going there with Papa. And anyway, he went over there one day, and her daughter, what's her daughter? Cecil. She told Cecil to figure out the bill. My daddy could not read nor write. And Cecil figured it out. She told him. Papa said, He said, that's not right. She said, what do you mean? Tell me, you got to tell a school teacher she's not right? He said, make her do it again. It's not right. He figured everything in his head. And she went back and she figured it again. She said, Mama, you know something? He's right. And that old lady was furious. She said, you mean to tell me a man that can't even read and write not figure you?
But your daddy was sharp.
Oh, yeah. He could figure all that in his head. You know, if he paid 50 cents or something, he'd remember that. And all this.
Because the money was hard to come by, and it was hard to let it go, too.
And that's the truth.
Well, during high school, did you finish high school?
Yeah.
And during high school, did they have sports when you were in high school?
Yeah.
The boys had sports and the girls?
Yeah, but I never played. I used to just practice with the girls, playing basketball. But I couldn't be on the team because Papa didn't want us to go off, you know, like to go to those games and all and maybe have to spend the night. He never fit. So I never did it. But I played, you know, just practicing with him. Mr. Webb begged me to join the team, but I wouldn't do it.
Mr. Webb was the principal?
Mm-hmm.
Was he principal the whole time you were in school?
Yeah.
Was Mr. Lusto, did he come while you were in school?
No, Mr. Playhouse was
a teacher and then assistant principal. And how was the graduation?
Oh, it was great. Well, he come in there, Mr. Webb did, and told us, well, the year before they didn't have a graduation.
Okay.
Because of the pressure.
Okay.
He come in there and he said, y'all can have a graduation if everybody agrees. If they got the money, the means to get what they need, you'll have a graduation. If not, we're not going to have it.
So what year was this?
34.
This is 34? Yeah. So the families had to agree?
Oh, yeah. Everybody had to agree. And Estelle Bress was in the class, and, you know, she wanted to have the graduation. And Mary LeBaron, Rita Bernard, Kenneth Dupree, me, Doris A. Beverly graduated with it.
Doris for Miss Lucille Bolinette and them?
And Telling 2 years. From Addis. And Marie Laurent.
I don't know that name.
She was kind of new. Her sister is married to only I live up here.
Oh, okay.
Her sister.
Okay.
She graduated. We were only 11, Howard 2 years. Eldon Allen. And Lionel was young. We were 11, I think, in all.
And Lionel was related to you, I guess. No?
I don't think a different set of LeJeunes.
And so did someone have to help you with getting material for your dress or anything?
My sister made my dress.
Okay.
She was a seamstress from here.
Which one was that?
Rena.
Rena was a seamstress.
Oh, yeah. She made my prom dress and my graduation. It was white organdy, but it looked just as good as the rest of them.
Well,
I don't know what they had on.
Yeah. And the boys wore suits?
Yeah.
White suits?
No, just
whatever suits. And y'all had your little graduation on a porch?
No, we had it at the town hall, or whatever you call it.
The building that they call the town hall, that was behind where Bolina's house was.
Yeah, somewhere there.
And why did y'all have it there? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know. We just had it over there. I don't know why. My two brothers played in the band.
Which one?
Landon Alexander. And the ragtime band.
Tell me the two names, the two brothers.
Carl and Gabe. Gabe was a drummer, and Carl played the banjo.
We've heard stories about them. We've heard those stories. They played at the dance hall by the oak tree too.
Oh yeah.
Was that still going strong when you were a little girl? Did they still have the dance hall?
Oh, they used to have dances there every Saturday night, but then they got so much fighting going on, they quit having it. You know, they used to get over there and Reed came.
Other people started coming in, I think.
Oh yeah. People from Parkland, Baton Rouge, and everywhere were over there.
I think I remember hearing that other people came in.
Oh yeah.
But that was when you were a little girl.
Yeah.
And Mr. Percy was a part of the band. Was he playing there?
Well, no, that was Mr. Percy. He might have played with Uncle Wallace and them. He played the fiddle and everything. When Mama and them were dancing the square dances and all. I got a picture at the house of Mama and Papa when they did all the square dancing, you know, like, and the Shabbos, I think they did. Uncle Wallace and another old man from back there, I forgot his name, used to play with him, with the fiddle.
How old were you when your mom and daddy went to do that dance at LSU at the French house when they were part of that group?
I didn't go with them, but I must have been about...
You were married by then?
No, I wasn't there.
No?
I might have been about 14 or 15, I guess. I don't remember what year it was.
And you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was an honor for them to be asked to do that.
It was fun to watch them dance. I went with them. I think they danced in Pulled Out somewhere when I'd gone with them. It was fun to watch them, dance that day.
That's something that was lost too.
Yeah.
And people don't do that now, and there wasn't any kind of film made of that even to preserve it.
Well, that boy you saw at the house, that Jimmy,
Yeah.
Anyway, one day, Bernadette, Bernadette.
Yeah, Bernadette,
Well, she told me, you should have seen Jimmy at school. We went to school yesterday, and she said he was the cutest thing you ever saw. I said, what was he doing? He had curly hair, She said he was square dancing. I said, Jimmy square dancing? He was always kind of bashful, I said, Jimmy square dancing?
Well, that must have been in a program or something.
Yeah, they were trying to teach him the dance.
And that was in his family. He was doing it.
Yeah.
So you finished school in 1934?
That's right.
And did you get married right out of high school?
Oh, no.
You worked, or you stayed home and helped? What happened?
I'd work on weekends at the store, way back then, truck store.
Okay.
The St. Christ store right there. I'd work on Friday and Saturday over there. I was telling my granddaughter the other day, I said, y'all barely ache about how much money y'all make. I said, you know how much money I got for working? Maybe 10 hours a day, both days. I got $5.25 a week.
And you thought you were rich?
That's right. I never worked anywhere. My daddy wouldn't let us go work. I wish he would have. He was so strict. Figured girls' places at home.
So by the time you finished high school, who was still in the house? Because the boys must have been married. Some of the
Dave was still there. Carl was married. Evelyn was married. Dave and I.
Did Dave ever marry? So he wanted to keep his little girl home.
Oh, yeah.
As long as he could.
That's true.
And then, what year did you get married?
I got married in 1936.
And that was right before the war. And y'all lived in Back Brusly?
Yeah.
What do you remember about what people were doing during the war back then? Were things hard? Things were real hard?
They had the rations. We had to go get those ration stamps for the sugar and for this and that and the other. Gasoline, you had to have a ration card. It was a pain in the neck.
That was hard. And so your oldest child was born before World War I. Before World War II. That was Catherine.
Yeah, she was born in 1937.
And then your other children, you want to tell us your other children and when they were born? Tell us their ages or when they were born if you want.
Well, Leonard is the next one, Leonard Jr., and he was born on July 31st in 1941. And Thomas was born November the 15th, 42. And Michael was born February the 8th in 1946. And Jimmy was born June the 29th, 1947. Linda was born April the 5th, 1949. John was born February the 26th, his daddy's birthday, in 1951. Diane was born May the 16th, 1954. Janet was born March the 9th, 1956. And Jeffrey was born March the 11th in 59.
And we forgot to say your husband's whole name.
Leonard Browning.
Yeah. And he was, it was his father who was one of the men who had come down to work on the levee. And that's how he ended up in this little Cajun community. So, all your children attended school in Brusly. Yeah. Except Jeffrey's schooling was arranged.
He went to Port Island for a long time.
And Catherine?
She didn't graduate, but she got that GED when she joined the service and everything.
And she made a career of being in the service. What branch of service was she in?
She was in the Army.
In the Army. And Catherine is the only one of your children who's no longer living, right?
That's right.
When did Catherine die?
She died in 1980. They found her dead in her apartment. She had had some kind of surgery, and I don't know, they told her that if she would drink anything with the medication that she was taking, that it would kill her. And they said that's what did it.
Maybe she had,
Drank some kind of gin or something. And
had a
took that
reaction that was
had a
fatal.
reaction.
Yeah. So after y'all got married, you lived back there, and during the war, do you remember, were some of your cousins in the service? Some people related to you?
No, I don't remember. Well, Gabe went to the service, but they took him with a steel plate and said, he had got his car had hit him when he was a real young kid, and they had to put a steel plate in his head, and they took him in the service like that.
Where did he go in the service? What did
He was
do?
in California.
He wasn't. He
only stayed 6 months. That's as long as he stayed. I guess they figured he couldn't take it,
I didn't know that about him. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
One of Aunt Edith's sons. Was one of Aunt Edith's sons in the service?
I don't know, maybe Jake or Hubert.
Hubert.
Maybe.
One of them was killed in the service. You don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
Uh-uh.
I think one of them.
Well, we didn't have radio, TVs, and all that at the time, and we didn't get the paper, so
yeah.
And
they had moved down to Addis by then. So things were hard. Do you remember that the ladies got together to sew back there?
Oh, yeah, we
house?
had this sewing bees over there all the time.
And what were some things they made? Did they make just clothes, or did they do other things?
We did quilts, and at one time we were making dresses and everything, some kind of government project that they would furnish the stuff, and we would make some dresses and stuff.
Well, it probably helped people out a great deal. Well, how long, your daddy died when he was in his 70s. What year was that he died? Do you know?
God, I can't remember that.
Did he live to see all your children born?
Not the last one, no. Not Jeffrey. No,
in the early 50s, mid 50s.
Yeah. I don't remember what year it was he died.
What did he do after he stopped raising crops and being a farmer? Did he do something else?
He didn't do anything really. He was a butcher too,
Okay, that's what I remember people said about him.
Yeah. He was a butcher, and he raised everything that we ate on the farm. And he had the lard. He killed hogs, and how you melt the lard down. He made his own salt meat. He made his own smoked sausages. And Mama used to, every Saturday he killed
an animal.
Yeah. And she used to make that andouille and the boudin and the hog cheese and all that every Saturday. But you don't get nothing like that anymore.
And she was a hard worker too.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
But he kept going pretty much. He was pretty active until the time he got very ill.
He got so he'd go in the field and he'd have a weak spell or something. Didn't know what was wrong with him. And he had diabetes all that time. And he didn't know it.
Well, people have really talked fondly about him. They've talked like they really cared about him.
Yeah.
So he was
he helped a lot of people. If he knew somebody didn't have anything, he'd give them some meat, and stuff like that.
I've heard people say that. So when you go to back Brusly now and you look and see all those houses and everything that's there now, what are the things that you see that were there from when you were a little girl? What's still there?
Nothing much left there, I tell you, since I was a little girl.
The oak tree. The oak tree's still there.
The oak tree's still there, yeah. The old meeting place for all the boys.
That's right.
They sat under that oak tree all the time, my husband included. I know my initials on that oak tree. He wrote them all over the trees everywhere.
That's sweet. And the little house next to the oak tree, that was the dance hall. That's still there. It's a house now.
Rena lived there for a long time in that house.
And then going down where,
Dorothy Thibodeau in them's house. I think it's still there.
Where's the house where Kiki and those people live?
Kiki,
Boujou and all those.
Oh, that's behind, where Cecile and Barbara? It's behind there.
Now that's a house that was there from when you were a little girl, isn't it? They were all living there then?
Who's that? Kiki?
Buju and them.
Yeah. They had 2 little houses there. They had Nola and all of them.
Now, who is Nola? Tell me about Nola.
You remember Poach?
Okay, Knowlton, yeah.
Knowlton, no. Poach is his brother.
Poach, okay.
But anyway, they had four kids. They had Margie, too. Margie, Nola, Knowlton, and Poach.
Okay. Margie was the only girl?
No, Margie and Nola.
Oh, Nola, okay.
Nola's a girl.
And where does she live? Is she still living?
She married Blanchard, I think, from Sacramento. She lives in Sacramento.
And who did Margie marry?
Margie lives in the old house where James LeJeune and Alain used to live.
Okay, and so is that Percy Landry's mama?
Yeah.
That's his mama. See, I never knew how Percy Landry fit into Brusly. I always thought he was somebody that had roots in Brusly, but nobody ever told me that.
No. He's married to Margie. And they bought that place there. That's where Alain.
But Margie has a son named Percy, huh? Percy married Jane. They live in a little brick house. You know what I'm talking about?
No, James is her son.
James. Okay, James, I'm saying. Okay. James, yeah.
He's Margie's son.
And so she was a Lorraine. I guess you knew them.
Oh, yeah.
And they were back there when you were growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you think they're related to the LeJeunes, too?
I don't know. I guess so. Some level way down the line, the most probably are.
And what about Mr. Bowery? You remember Mr. Bowery?
Yeah.
Now, who was his family?
Well, I don't know. He wasn't ever married or anything. But I think that you remember Chuck Lloyd?
I remember the name. Yeah, Mr. Brantley. Yeah, that's
Well, I think their mother was his sister.
Okay.
Mr. Bowery's sister. That's the only thing I know about them.
Okay. That's Tootie's. So that was connected with Tootie's dad or some kind of way?
Yeah, that's what I say. He was his uncle, I guess.
Well, people talk about these and they're just names until somebody starts tying them together. And then they mean something. They kind of connect. Well, what do you think is the best thing you remember about being a child in Baton Rouge?
Oh, God, I don't know. The kids all gathered at the house every day. We played ball in that heat out there, enough to kill a mule. But we had all those pecan trees, and everybody gathered over there, and we played ball all day. So wonder we didn't die out there.
But everybody enjoyed being together.
Oh, yeah. We had a ball over there all the time. When we didn't have to pick pecans. I never forget pecan picking.
But did your daddy give y'all any of that money? Did y'all get a few little nickels?
Oh, yeah. He gave us. He'd have all the kids pick pecans and pay them a little something, and everybody run to a store with the money.
And there were stores in Baton Rouge. We didn't talk about that. Tell me about that.
Mr. Wesley had a store down there. And my Uncle Man used to have a store.
Now, who's Uncle Man?
He's Susie's husband.
Oh, okay.
Man Daigle. He was married to Mama's sister Susie. And she had died. He was living there by himself, but he had a little store there.
You don't know what his real name was?
Wiley, I believe. Wiley Daigle.
And you think he was from Brusly? Or he
was from around here, I think. He had 10 people in Port Allen. The Daigles. I think Miss Donia Daigle was his mentor.
Miss Donia was teaching when you were at school?
Oh, yeah. Well, she was a sweet teacher.
Somebody we did not talk about was Aunt Leia's second husband, Mr. Diggs, Mr. Lewis Diggs.
Yeah. Well, that was kin to
Donia and
to Wiley Daigle, some kind of way. Because it's his. Wasn't he Miss Donia's daddy?
I wondered. I know when we said that struck something. It seems like I can remember Aunt Leia talking about Donia too.
Well, I think it is.
By his first wife, huh?
Uncle Man had a daughter, Bernice. Now, one of those Daigle girls was always going up there to see about her. I think she lives around Mamou or somewhere up there.
Well, that's something I'll have to track down because that's interesting. And then about church, you just talked about walking to catechism and to church. Who was the priest when you had to come to catechism?
I remember Father Ryu when we made our communion and all that. I was scared to death of that priest. You know, he used to be so strict.
Nobody played tricks when he was there. Is that the one where y'all would memorize certain answers because you thought he would call a question?
You better believe I learned that thing by heart before I got there. He wasn't going to ask me something I didn't know.
You didn't memorize just one answer. You memorized
the
more.
whole thing.
Because you didn't want to get put on your knees.
Oh, no.
Well, did your mom and daddy go to church on Sundays with y'all? Everybody walked?
We usually walked by ourselves. Just the kids. A whole bunch of kids from, all got together and walked together. You couldn't hardly do that today with all the stuff going on nowadays.
So many things. Well, Lily, do you remember when Mr. Nick Hunjaris lived in Brusly?
Oh, yeah. He ran that grocery store there. I used to buy groceries all down town.
And what other old buildings that are still in front Brusly between the highway and the river do you remember that were there when you were younger?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember too many.
Do you remember when they moved some of the buildings, when they changed the levee, or you weren't around?
Yeah.
You were around? I mean, y'all were in this part of Brusly when they were doing some of that moving?
Oh, no, we lived in back Brusly.
Yeah, and they didn't do it when school was going on, so you didn't see it then.
Well, that's when the Brownings moved to back Brusly. They bought a place back there, and that's when Mr. Browning worked on that levee out there.
And so how long did y'all live in that Brusly after you were married?
Oh, we lived there quite a while, and we moved here and there. Morgan City. I lived in Morgan City.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And then his dad and Mom bought a place up there in Belmont, and we moved up there on the farm up there.
Okay. So you didn't always just stay in Brusly?
No.
But now you're back home. Back home in Brusly.
I used to hate it up there.
I'm sure you did. You were away from your family.
Yeah.
So you came back here probably in the early 60s or mid 60s.
Yeah.
Because I taught Diane in 65 or 66, something like that. So y'all back here then. And then how long before Miss Kate died did she have to go in a nursing home?
Well, she was in there about 3 or 4 years, I guess. She didn't want to go stay with Nope. She didn't want to go stay with Evelyn. She wouldn't stay with anybody, And Gabe couldn't take care of her until she broke her hip, He was back there with her, but there wasn't nothing that we could do but put her in a nursing home. But Evelyn went there every day. She lived
not far. I remember.
She used to go there every day and see about her. But she didn't mind staying in the nursing home. She liked it over there.
She was a sweet person.
Yeah.
And so she lived to be
101.
101. And I'm sure she saw some different things in her lifetime.
Oh, God, yes.
The way things must have changed.
Imagine.
And so she probably lived at least 25 years after Mr. DeLong.
Oh, yeah. 26 years.
Yeah.
Because he was 75.
So you have anything else you want to say about living in Brusly or things that you remember that we didn't talk about?
Well, I don't know. Mama used to, the entertainment that we had, we didn't need a radio or anything. She told us stories every night.
Well, that was...
And she might talk for 2 hours, but she would read these. Evelyn and all of them used to buy her these books, and or whoever, or she'd go buy them, Papa bought them. And she'd read a couple, 2 or 3 chapters, and then she'd tell us what she read. We'd all sit around the fireplace, and she'd tell us what she read, describe the scenery, just like, I don't know, I should remember it all.
She didn't just sit there with the book open and read it.
No.
Isn't that something?
And she told us that in French most of the time.
Oh.
You know, they talk to me in French all the time. I couldn't even talk English when I went to school. I had to learn how to talk English. Because whenever I went back there, always French. We never talked English.
Do you remember any of that? You can still remember some of it?
Well, a little bit of it, but I'm marrying somebody from Missouri. You know, I never talked French.
Did you take French in high school?
Yeah. Well, I made pretty good in French.
But it was different.
Yeah, it's entirely different. It's not that slang French like we use around here.
Well, that's amazing that she would read the books. The books were probably in English. And then she would tell you all the stories.
Talking about the snow and... You know, she read those books by James Albert Corwin and Zane Grey. And you know, she's done that all her life because when she was a young girl, about 16, the boys didn't have much money. But they'd all pool their money together, get her a book, bring it to her, and at night, every night they'd go over there and sit down and listen to her tell them stories. She was a storyteller from way off.
Well, that makes me wonder if they had a chance to go to school. The people her age, do you think she went to school?
Her mother, she said, taught her first 4 or 5 grades from the bed because she was sick. And she taught her at home.
Taught her what she knew.
Yeah. I think her mother was a school teacher. But she was sick. I don't know what she had. But then she says she remembered going to Abilene, Texas.
Miss Kate?
Yeah, her daddy was a cavalry. And every summer, they'd go to Abilene. And she said her mama used to get so sick, they'd have to go somewhere and catch a boat to go across the Gulf.
Probably from Galveston.
Yeah.
Galveston Bay. Maybe to New Orleans or something.
She said her mother used to be so sick. She remember that? On the, you know, in the boat. And just I said they'd get a covered wagon when they got over there. And they'd have to travel in that covered wagon to go to Abilene. She lost a little brother on a
trip like that?
Yeah.
So how old was she again when her mother died?
Well, I think she was 8 years old.
Did she ever, or do you remember she said her mother died on one of those trips, or her mother died here at home?
I guess she died at home or something. But she said she remembered how sick she used to get crossing the water.
And did he continue being a cowboy even after she died?
No, most probably not. He most probably married somebody else around there or something. He used to go off somewhere and make a grinding or whatever you call it. I mean, maybe Papa go over somewhere. I don't know what they did. Farming too, I guess.
Yeah. And so then that may be why she was in.
I never had a grandmother.
Yeah. So that was it. And so Miss Mabel, when you grew up, Miss Mabel was a relative, and because that had been in the family, huh?
Yeah. She was married to his mama's half sister.
Yeah.
And so was Aunt Wilma.
Yeah. And Wilma, Corinne is the one that told me the story when Miss Wilma and her husband eloped. And that was they eloped with
Corinne and Delma.
Yeah, because the way that Corinne told me, Miss Wilma had gone to help out somebody who had a baby. There was a baby in somebody's family. I don't know if it was in Alan Touyer's family or somebody's family. And Miss Wilma's mother, or grandmother, must have been the one that was raising her. Anyway, whoever it was that she was staying with got angry with her for being gone and so she put her stuff on the porch and put it out the house. And so Mr. Coutard came along and said, well, we're getting out of here. And then he went and he found your uncle. And he said, come on, I'm going to pick up Wilma, we're going to get married. And that's when your uncle decided on the spur of the moment to marry. I mean, that was your brother-in-law. I'm saying your uncle, your brother-in-law. Yeah. So they had their double elopement.
Yeah.
But you were only a little bitty girl then.
Yeah. She was 14 years older than me.
So you might have just been about 3 or 4 years old?
Probably, yeah.
You don't remember your mom and them saying anything about that?
No, I don't remember them saying anything about it.
I bet D-Long must have had some words, but you don't remember
yeah.
them.
I didn't hear them around, yes, I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to them.
Well, I think you told me some things I hadn't heard before about your family and about that Brusly. And I want to thank you.
Well,
And I appreciate your little help with our project.
Okay.